Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the ServiceNow info session. This is our third info session. In the past, it was very enclosed. This is our first one that we are excited to bring to our public ecosystem of past students, new students, people just interested in learning more about ServiceNow. For those who don't know, my name is Christina Bood. I am the CEO of St. Michael's Learning Academy. We are a tech folk school in Houston, Texas, and have been for the last 15 years training IT and business certifications that are industry agnostic. And we are so pleased to present with our partners here today that we have just added ServiceNow to our catalog and approvals and could not be more thrilled knowing the value of what a career in ServiceNow and a certification will bring to our students, our alumni, and future students that are here. I would be remiss without saying that if any great program or any good program, actually, I should say that's out there, it's only great by its constituents and those who are part of it. I am very honored and pleased to make some introductions today this morning. First of all, I would love to introduce Mr. Trey Hemingsing for being here today. He is with ServiceNow, and he is going to go ahead and share PowerPoint and give us some information about facts and how long for the last 2 decades ServiceNow has been a platform that gives real-life actionable decisions for companies and how much it's relied on to have companies work more efficiently. And I'm looking forward to always hearing more and learning more about ServiceNow. So thank you, Trey, for being here with us. With us as well today is Fusion 3, Miss Melissa Broussard, Kevin Frost, and Lonry, who can't be here today, who are your instructors and fearless leader. Melissa and I met at a Women in Tech conference. So full circle, almost 2 years, we are here today, and just mentioning her name puts a smile on my face because we are so like-minded in bringing quality programs such as this, where we can help individuals really just not earn skills, but actual application knowledge so that they can receive a new career, not just a job, and have a gainful employment once they're finished this program. And last, without least, I could not, and none of us can do any of this without our academic partner, Brazos Port Community College. We have Dean Mitch Seal here with us today. Dean Mitch Seal and I have worked on other IT application platforms such as SAP, and just came back last week from graduating a class with DoD for their SkillBridge program. And his partnership and college is very important in making sure that not only do we have our industry partners such as ServiceNow, our instructors who have real life practitioners experience to deliver, but Dean Mitch and Brazos Port is going to make sure that service members as well as students are going to get the most amount of credits. So you're having job opportunities, certification, and college credits when you go through this program. So without further ado, I would love a quick, really great treat for all those that are here today. We're going to start our program with a high-level overview that Trey's going to share with us in a second. Then we're going to have Fusion 3 come on and talk a little bit about what you can expect in the classroom, the certifications that you're going to learn, and how we've comprised and come together with making sure that our curriculum is industry and market driven. And then last without least, Dean Mitch Seal is going to give us an update of our upcoming class, as well as how they go ahead and evaluate prior learning assessment to make sure that you're getting the very best and the most out of this program. So Trey, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Christine. Really excited here at ServiceNow to get this program up and running, and we're thrilled to be partnering with you all on this. Everyone can see my screen, right? Great. So before we kind of jump into what the platform looks like and really why we're excited to stand up this partnership, I wanted to talk through really what we're seeing out in the workforce and in the marketplace right now with ServiceNow specific jobs. In 2023, we actually saw, as a global company, we saw about 60,000 ServiceNow jobs per month being posted globally. And what that looks like is that's our ecosystem. And when I say ecosystem, I mean our customers, our partners, ServiceNow ourselves, who are actually hiring for various roles, from service desk to system administrator, project managers, developers, all different roles that are supporting basically these companies who are implementing ServiceNow across their entire enterprise. And as you can see, from the numbers, just significant demand, those 60,000 per month, and then also 22,000 companies globally who are competing for that talent. So it's a hot market right now, and you're in the right place at the right time. Wanted to highlight a few stats that we're seeing here in the US specifically. So we're seeing about 10,000 companies actually competing for that ServiceNow talent. And like I said, developers, analysts, system administrators, quite a few different roles that are ultimately supporting the platform once it's implemented. Pretty attractive median salary, and the posting duration that we're seeing for these job postings comes from a tool that we use called Lightcast. 28-day posting duration on that, which is telling us that these roles are being posted and almost immediately filled. So when we look at where we're seeing these roles, Texas, of course, being a hotspot, California, the DC area for a lot of our government and federal customers. But a lot of these jobs, of course, knowing that we are a tech company and depending on how our customers are set up, they are remote eligible positions as well. So highlighting, I guess, just a few of our top occupations that we're seeing, support specialists, your developers, the computer occupation / other field is always interesting to better understand really what falls into that. That's generally our implementation consultants, those who are helping to kind of consult and stand up the platform or maintain the platform once it's already in place. Data analysts, computer analysts, and then system administrators being, the top 5 roles that we're seeing as in demand right now. And you can see with really the top 20 employers that are hiring for that talent, we have quite the range. We have our big partners like KPMG and Deloitte from the big 4, all the way to boutique consultancies that focus only on ServiceNow. Really, our customers are companies like Wells Fargo, Disney Plus, Marriott, and they span across all these different industries. Whether it's healthcare, manufacturing, education, and quite a few others. So let's dive in just to talk a little bit about who we are as a company and really what ServiceNow does. I get this question all the time, and it's a lengthy answer sometimes. So we were founded in 2004. We just hit 20 years this year, and we just rounded out about 25,000 global employees who are working internally at ServiceNow. We power about 85% of the Fortune 500, meaning that those companies are actually using our platform behind the scenes to power their workflow automations and various parts of their IT, HR, PMO, different parts of the organization, supporting their employees and their external customers. We have about 8,100 global enterprise customers, and I think we're just over 3,000 global partners who are actually working to, consult, resell, implement, and really stand up our platform. We couldn't do this without the support of our partners. Last thing that I want to call out here, we are consistently ranked as a best place to work. Companies that care. It's the reason why I've been here for 5 years, and I'm planning on staying here for as long as I can. It's a really great company to work for. And if you get the opportunity, we would, of course, welcome you coming into ServiceNow. So let's talk just a little bit more about what our platform actually does. Right now, the reality is, so many companies have all of these different systems of record across their enterprise. Maybe it's a CRM or procurement software or payroll or financials. And those systems of record are really great at what they do specifically. But the problem is that they don't talk to one another. It's all disjointed. It creates a bunch of siloed work, creates a lot of duplicative work. And the result is all that extra manual work, increased costs, and it ultimately slows down the company's growth and innovation. So with ServiceNow, what we really aim to do is build bridges, and integrate with all of those siloed applications. We like to think of ourselves as the AI platform that gives teams and the leaders ultimately that single pane of glass to help them make informed business decisions. So we help businesses link all those systems, the data that lives in those systems, it flows into ServiceNow, all those processes, and ultimately the people by providing that single AI powered layer and that pane of glass that shows how work is done. So when we look at our platform, you can see across the bottom in the gray area, those are all of those systems of record that I was talking about. These are just a few examples, but we integrate with virtually any platform that's out there or piece of software. So as I mentioned, ServiceNow ingests all of the data that's coming in from all of those disparate systems across the enterprise. And we translate that data into workflows that ultimately cuts down the amount of time that employees are using to swivel chair in between platforms, put duplicative work into different pieces of technology, and ultimately frees them up so that they can focus on the work that matters. So we have different workflows that you'll see across the top. First is our customer workflows. Those are, that's really our external facing arm of ServiceNow. So when you think about maybe interacting with Disney Plus, for example, and you go to their website, you maybe need to check out a knowledge article, maybe open a case to better understand, what might be going wrong with your streaming service. That's an example of a customer workflow. Our employee workflows are more for internal employees going to a single service portal, and understanding, how do I, as an employee, take FMLA, or how do I get access to a new benefit, or maybe I just have a question for HR. Those are what we think of as employee workflows. And then on the flip side, technology workflows. That's really where we started as a company and ultimately what we're known for. But we build on these technology workflows, primarily in the IT space and IT operations. Maybe you think about that service portal that I talked about on the HR side or the employee workflow side. Maybe you could go to that same service portal if you're having an issue with your laptop and you need to, request a new one. Maybe it was broken or your screen shattered. Um, you know, it sets out a series of workflows that ultimately get work to the right people at the right time. Maybe through approvals, maybe routing cases, maybe ultimately talking about dispatching your new laptop. All of that is done behind the scenes, ultimately in a workflow pattern that allows employees to free up their time. The last piece that I want to focus on this slide is our middle section, which is creator workflows. So we have all of the out of the box workflows that you see across the top, along with industry and vertical specific workflows that are completely built for maybe telco or financials. But we realize that every business is different and we need to allow the normal person who might not be a developer to come in and actually build out their own workflows. And that's where creator workflows comes in and allows really a business user, as we would call them, to build out a workflow, still send it through a developer for a quick check to make sure that everything's okay and it's QA'd, and then ultimately stand it up as quickly as possible so that they can move on throughout their day and stand up that workflow. So the other thing that I wanted to highlight on our platform is that as we have grown over the years, we've continued to build and acquire and integrate technology, all with the same purpose, ultimately to automate work better, faster, and smarter. So we've incorporated AI into our platform for several years now, and we've built on top of being known as really that IT service management company way back from 2004 to really the world's most powerful workflow automation platform today. And we incorporate different parts of the business beyond IT. Like I said, we have HR, we have operations, maybe the legal department, strategic portfolio management. And we've built in that functionality, like natural language understanding, for example, virtual agent, performance analytics, and quite a bit more that you'll see on this slide. So last couple of pieces that I wanted to leave you with were just really some real life examples of how different sectors or industries might be using ServiceNow. And since we are with academic partnerships here at ServiceNow, I'm particularly keen to the education industry. So here's an example of how ServiceNow might be used in education. So we know that a lot of colleges are still using manual processes like emails and spreadsheets, and in this example, to manage a transcript evaluation, or even just several other workflows across campus. For a transcript review, lots of students have transcripts from other institutions that might need to be evaluated for potential credit when coming into a new college. And we know it's a pretty labor-intensive process for everyone involved. And there's a lot of people involved. There's the student, there's the admissions rep, the transcript evaluator, the registrar's office, and so many more. And when you think about when a student interacts, they probably go to a website, and they would upload their transcript on your website. That goes to the registrar's office. They might create a case in ServiceNow trying to interpret the transcripts, all while going back and forth between these folks who are across campus. Meanwhile, they're probably also reaching out to other institutions while creating tasks on a case record. Meanwhile, the student might be asking for updates on that case by, responding to case emails or chatting with our virtual agent. And then finally, at the very end, after all of these interactions, we get back to the students with the results. And we, realize that student's probably going through this process with several different colleges all at the same time. So it's important that we get the student the results, hopefully as quickly as possible, so that they can make the right decision in knowing that the college is the right choice for them. So quite a bit happening, quite a few different interactions happening in the background. And you can see that this process, is much more streamlined with bringing ServiceNow into the picture. Before this, and probably still today, a lot of colleges might be manually working through this through email, tracking information in spreadsheets, sending emails back and forth for approval, and all of those different behind the scenes tasks. So AI is the buzzword right now, and really the talk of the town. Everyone is talking about AI. So let's talk about how we might take that same process with AI and make it even easier for everyone who might be involved. The student can still submit their information on the college's website and have the platform automatically create a case. From there, that's kind of where the magic starts to happen, with Now Assist taking over the evaluation process. Now Assist is our generative AI capability within the platform. And with Now Assist coming in and creating those cases, we might start to use things in the platform like document intelligence to read and match the courses on the transcript. We might use RPA or robotic process automation to push information to the student's record in Slate, for example, that external platform. We might pull information from the National Student Clearinghouse, ultimately routing approvals to the evaluators as needed. But as we're going through that process, maybe we run into a problem where something doesn't quite match up on the transcript. We can actually auto assign that case to the right person, where that person who's evaluating the transcript gets an AI generated summary of everything that has happened up until that point for the entire case process using that Now Assist functionality. And this can all happen seamlessly in really a matter of minutes while keeping the potential student updated along the way. And as you can see through looking at that previous process, the process before ServiceNow, and this kind of streamlined process, we can get the student answers in a matter of minutes rather than hours or days or weeks. So with that being said, I hope I answered your questions as to kind of really what the market looks like, what ServiceNow is as a platform, and hopefully gave you a couple examples here. But for now, I'm going to hand it back over to Melissa with Fusion 3.
Thank you so much, Trey, for that presentation and that overview. I don't think I'm going to spend a ton of time, but just wanted to say hello and welcome everybody that's joining the call. My name is Melissa Bouchard. I'm one of the founding members and CEO of Fusion 3. We are a ServiceNow partner. It's been a great experience. We've been in the ecosystem since 2019. Myself and my business partners were actually ServiceNow customers originally before we kind of caught the bug to get even more involved within the ServiceNow community. And since that time, we've been working with customers across all different verticals, implementing and improving their ServiceNow environment. And as Christine mentioned at the top of the call, her and I had the fortunate opportunity to meet at a Women in Tech conference. And we just had a lot of synergies in that we were both very passionate about education, learning, and ensuring that the continued folks within our workforce are well equipped to be successful and to truly build a career and not just a job. And that's really how we were able to work together and create this very unique partnership that really supports individuals looking for college credits, but really looking to stand out, to come out and graduate with a tangible skill set. And as Trey pointed out, the market is really just growing. The opportunities are growing. And this is really a great time for all of us to be together talking a little bit about what this new program looks like and how it can add value to folks looking to either transition into a new career, or you may just be starting out looking for new viable and valuable skills, to embark on your career path. So Kevin Frost, he's one of our team members and also one of the co-founders here at Fusion 3. You will be very fortunate to be in his hands. He is a wealth of knowledge, a former ServiceNow product and platform owner. So when I say this, I don't say it lightly. That is very helpful to know that someone sat on the other side of the aisle. He is not just a consultant for whatever that's worth to folks that are attending training. He really knows what it's like to learn to ramp up on new technology. So with that, Kevin, I'll hand it over to you to talk a little bit more about the classroom experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. And anytime I can, whether it's reskilling or bringing something new to anybody, and I can share my knowledge, I get really excited about it. So I'm an authorized trainer for ServiceNow as well. So I've done just ServiceNow trainings for our clients and for others out there. And to be able to put a program like this together is just the next level for me. So I'm very excited about that. What you're going to experience is both myself and Lanre Elujaba, who's my other kind of co-instructor, if you will, on this program. It's a very valuable ServiceNow knowledge from the ground up, really. So it's going to start with kind of laying the groundwork, the foundation for ServiceNow, working what is it, how can it be applied. We're going to give real live use cases because we've been through it not only with our clients, but I've also been a client of ServiceNow, so I have my own history with the product. As well as going into the second part of the program is really going to go into a bit of a specialization where we specialize at Fusion 3 in the risk and compliance space. This encompasses quite a bit and they call it integrated risk management or enterprise risk management, you may hear out there. But it is about compliance, managing risk, things like if you've looked into any of the recent events out there with CrowdStrike and whatnot, it's preventing things like that. So it's a very valuable specialization inside ServiceNow. So you'll have general ServiceNow knowledge, which will be able to be kind of a pivot point for you wherever you want to go in ServiceNow, as well as a specialization in the risk and compliance side of things. The experience inside the classroom is going to be not just me as a talking head, so don't worry about that. We're going to be doing engaging lab exercises as well as use cases. So we're going to present to you use cases that are actually real world. We might have to scrub some names and whatnot, but we're going to present those to you so that you can understand how this really applies out there. And what you might really run into when you come out with these certifications and with the completion of this program. So we're going to set you up for success along those lines, not just here's the skill set to go out and get the certification for the application, but this is how you're going to apply that, right? And this is why it matters. And I think that's the big key that I'm excited about to be able to bring to it is, okay, why am I learning all of this, right? Where can this really go? So I don't know, Christine, if there's anything else you want me to jump into there or not, but.
No, I think that what you said was perfect. I see a lot of familiar faces on here, some past students that have come back that are working in the IT space, some that are new names that I haven't seen before. So thank you for joining us. This is for you. So please feel free to ask questions. I think really what the differentiator here is compared to any IT training, specifically with us with ServiceNow, is that there are a lot of academics that are teaching just the body of knowledge. And with this program, you're earning, yes, that academic and that body of knowledge. But as Kevin said, to kind of augment his words and thoughts, you're hearing from him, a real life practitioner who has been on the ground floor working with companies and going through their processes and finding out ways in which to make it more efficient, to minimize risk, to make things more automated. So you're going to have real life examples of how the knowledge we're teaching you are going to apply. And that is what is kind of missing a lot. When you're in academic programs, they're going so fast, giving you the skills, which are the features of a program, but the benefits, the value, how to apply it, that you're also going to get with this program. So before we jump over to Dean Mitch, I did want to pause. And if you feel kind of shy and you don't want to have the spotlight on you or get off the mic, please, I'm going to pause just for a second and open up for any questions. You can even use the chat. Again, this time is for you. And if you don't, I'm going to start calling your name like the teacher in the class. I see a couple of you. Thank you for your support and being here today. Let's see. I thought I saw Dana. Is she still here? Let's see. I know we had 20 people registered. And I see. Oh, hi, Daniel. Thanks for raising your hand, the brave soul. How can we help you?
Hey everyone. I really enjoyed the presentation. Thank you guys for providing that. I'm not super familiar with St. Michael's Learning Academy. I wanted to know if you guys offered a distance option or if it was only in person.
This is a distance only class. So that's a great question. And it's okay if you're not familiar with ServiceNow or St. Michael's or Fusion 3. You've taken the first step towards your professional career and learning how and learning more. And that's how you'll be able to continue knowing if this is the right program for you. We really want this to augment your existing skills and knowledge. And if this is your first time doing an IT certification or learning of any kind, as Kevin said, we're really going to be laying down the foundations from zero and taking you all the way to hero. So I appreciate that question. This is a distant class, and Dean Mitch will go into some more about the expectations of class that we're hoping to start in November.
Awesome.
Did I answer your question, Daniel?
You sure did. Thank you very much.
Very good. Any other questions? Okay, feel free to use the chat and we'll circle back. Dean Mitch, Mr. Seal.
Ah, there we go. I found my mute button and my camera button this time.
Very good.
Well, thanks everyone for being here. My name is Dean Mitch Seal, and I am responsible for all of the back-end sausage making that is required of higher education. And there is a ton of regulatory requirements and veteran requirements and things of that nature. And my job is to make sure that all of that happens behind the scenes. So as students, you will probably have zero interaction with me until it comes time to cross the stage, in which case I might shake your hand, give you a coin, and show you how many credits you earned at the college. It's the faculty that I'll really be interacting with a lot, making sure that rosters get certified on time and that grades are reporting. And then another function that I serve is coordinator of all the student support services that go into this. You will be a member of Brazosport College, so you are entitled to all the student support services that we have, including our veteran support services, certifying your education benefits and all of those sorts of things that go into it. So we're kind of the silent partner while the class is going on, and then at the end we show up and say, not only did you get a great credential, which is amazingly important, and I got to tell you, when I got out of the military, I had to go to work for Pizza Hut because there just wasn't anything out there. There were no systems in place. But these days, you get an opportunity not only to get a great credential, but we'll also add 4 semester hours of credit for that. The course will run over 4 weeks, Monday through Friday, but it is asynchronous online. There may be a little bit of synchronous stuff depending on how your faculty want to handle a few things, but it is online. And we break that into 2 courses that are 2 weeks long each, and you will receive 4 semester hours of credit for that training. And then we will also take a look at any other academic and training and certification apprenticeship credential that you may have, and let you know what other credentials that we can apply towards your degree completion program. And really that's important because a credential gets you an interview and a job and a start to a career. But when you start realizing all of the credit that your past education and employment careers that we can add to that, you're closer to a degree than you realize. And what's important about that is as you progress through your career, your degrees and your extra certifications that you earn tend to make you more marketable and give you even more options to advance that career. So we're very happy to be able to apply that academic piece to that. So we will look at everything that you give us. And I will tell you, we're averaging 43 semester hours of credit for our Army cohorts that are going through our SAP program. So 10 of that is for the training itself. You're going to get 4 semester hours. So we're finding well over 20 extra semester hours of credit for the average student that goes through these programs, and that puts you very close to associate's degree, and if not into a bachelor's degree. But again, the primary focus is getting that initial credential, working hard with your faculty to do that, and then we'll see you at the end to say congratulations, you made it. Let's talk about next steps. Back to you, Christine.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and put a screen on with kind of like a link for you to want to move on to the next step. This is for learn more information. If you'd like to set up a separate interview just with one of us or myself, just to get some more in-depth information, we're going to put that link up or QR code so that way you can do that. And then if you have any specific questions and wanting to know next steps after that, we're here holding your hand, making sure that the enrollment and admissions process goes as smoothly as possible. We do have a question from Ty. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate it.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for organizing this program. I'm not sure if I'm in the right room. My little research about the SMLA, I noticed that you deal with a lot of veterans, for active military transitioning into civilian life. I'm not in the military. I've been out of job for some time. And when I saw this ServiceNow, I felt it's an opportunity for me to enhance my IT skill set. My question is, am I in the right room? Because one, I have a bachelor's degree, and because of unemployment, I decided to enroll back for my MBA. So I'm just acquiring all this degree, but I've done hundreds of interviews and nobody's trying to hire because nobody wants to pay. My question is, how can somebody like me benefit from this?
That's a really good question, Ty. And it's multiple questions that I heard in your response. So the first one is, this is a program for all individuals. It could be military, active duty, it could be for transitioning, veteran, spouse, dependent, or somebody who's just interested in upskilling and wanting to enter the IT ecosystem for the very first time, as well as someone like yourself who's a professional and want to upskill. So this is exactly, you've landed at the right page. Now, I heard that you said that you have your MBA and you're having still a very hard time with employment. So as to augment and to talk a little bit about what Dean Mitch said, is that the certifications, they kind of get you into the door and help you find that job, and the degrees is what helps you move on up within the company. So not to take away, you're doing a great thing. You're improving your skills, you're improving your education while looking for employment. but looking for employment is a full-time job. And from the minute that you do enroll into a program like this, you can go ahead and slap that certification onto your education and say in progress. And these type of certifications, as you heard ServiceNow talk about, they're very highly coveted and it's very much in demand. There are lots of people like you may have going to school, college students that are coming out right now and they have that degree, but they don't have the other skills that employers are looking for. You may have a lot of communication, collaboration, and critical thinking, which we call soft skills. And then now you having the education, but the certification in ServiceNow or a specific IT certification would really augment those existing skills you have and help you transition within the ServiceNow IT ecosystem much smoother. And I urge you to trust and verify what I'm saying. Those stats that were in the presentation earlier, we will send this this presentation out to everybody who has registered. If you did not register and just kind of clicked on a link that was on LinkedIn, please put that information in the chat so that we could send you this slide after and you'll have that information. Or you can click on the link here or the QR code, and I'll also send you to our website so that we can get you that information. But as I said, it's really looking at what kind of skills you're wanting to acquire that can best augment the existing education that you have and making sure that this is the right fit for you. Trust and verify what I'm saying. Go to salary.com, look within the area that you're looking for employment and see if the MBA and the certification as well as your previous experience are what the requirements are listed in the jobs that you're applying for.
Thank you so much, Christine. Just to add to that, I just started my MBA last month. I don't have it yet. My last question, I promise, is from my little research, I know nothing is free. So what is the cost attached to this program?
There is a cost. I'm not that part of admissions that's going to go through the college. But when we set up an individual in appointment with you, and if you go to our website, you can see what the cost is there. The link below will kind of walk you through and kind of talks a little bit more about a high level overview of the curriculum as well. And all of that cost will be mentioned there.
And Christine, if I could add, that's one of the benefits of enrolling in the college is it actually triggers other financial aid eligibilities, and we can step you through those. And you've already got an MBA, so obviously you don't need an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree. However, if you do enroll in the college, then you have more options for financial aid that are on your plate if you need them.
And when you do an analysis, Ty, you'll see that our cost is very comparable compared to the number of hours. So typically, the ServiceNow boot camps that we've seen going around, they're like a day or two long. As Dean Mitch said, this is a month-long course. So we kind of looked at what their average course is per credit hour, clock hour, and we made sure that we were staying within what that unit rate was for the number of hours that we're giving you in class. Great questions. Let me look at the chat. Any more? Anybody else have any specific questions? See George, Gloria. All
Thanks.
right.
There's no question from me, Joe.
Okay, good. Good. Well, I'm glad this was informative. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who spoke today. It is a wealth of knowledge and information. It was a lot of information. Again, if we don't have your contact info, please put that in the chat so we could send you this PowerPoint information. And looking forward to seeing you guys in the classroom. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.